Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, educators, and learners, welcome to our webinar on emerging technologies and practices in education. Today, we are gathered to explore the dynamic intersection of technology and education and its potential to revolutionize teaching and learning. Before we begin, let us start with an invocation to seek blessings for our endeavors, to be followed by singing of our national anthem as we honor our nation, the university hymn to celebrate the spirit of our institution.
One thing I ask, to dwell in the house of the Lord all my days, to gaze on His goodness and walk in His ways. He will shelter me. He will be my strength in the triumph that He brings me. I can hold my head high in His house. I shall lift up my voice. I will sing, I will praise the Lord. One thing I ask, to dwell in the house of the Lord all my days, to gaze on His goodness and walk in His ways. Immaculate Conception, my dear alma mater, the fairest university, I give thee my salute. I pledge to be forever true to thee and thy flag. I pledge my word of honor to keep thee in my heart. Thou art to me a mother that leads me through the world. Unite thy child forever to Jesus, dearest Lord. To thee I pledge to fight for God and for His church, and for my abilities I give my heart and hand. Immaculate Conception, my dear alma mater, the fairest university, I
At this moment, we would like to acknowledge all the participants who have joined us today. Please take a moment to register your attendance by scanning the QR code or visiting the link provided on the screen. Your active participation is vital to the success of this webinar. We request also your attention for a quick reminders to ensure smooth and distraction-free experience for everyone. We kindly ask that you please mute your microphones and turn off your cameras throughout the duration of the webinar, and this helps to maintain the audio clarity and minimize any background noise. And thank you so much. Again, to access the attendance form, we have two convenient options for you. First, you can scan the QR code display on your screen using the smartphone, cameras, or any QR code scanning application. The QR code will directly lead you to the registration form. You can visit also to the attendance link at our chat box. Just click on it and it will take you to the attendance form. Right, thank you. Moving on, it is my privilege to call Sir Romeo Ibihar Jr., NEP, to deliver the opening remarks for this webinar. He has extensive experience in the field of education and a deep understanding of the impact of emerging technologies. Please join me in welcoming Sir Romeo Ibihar Jr., MEP. Sir,
Thank you very much, Sir James. I do hope that my audio is clear at your end. Praise be Jesus and Mary. My courtesy and respect to our PhD ITI 622 and 623 Professor Dr. Mark Van M. Buladaco, our distinguished speakers, and as well my fellow PhD ITI students, and also the esteemed participants for this afternoon's webinar. Good afternoon. It is with great pleasure and humility that I welcome you all to this webinar on emerging technologies and practices in education. Today, we gather virtually to delve into the ever evolving landscape of educational technology and explore the innovative practices that are shaping the future of education. As we embark on this intellectual journey, I am grateful for the opportunity to engage with such esteemed experts, passionate educators, and dedicated individuals who share a common goal of advancing education through the transformative power of technology. In recent years, especially during the pandemic, we have witnessed a rapid proliferation of emerging technologies that have the potential to revolutionize the way we teach, the way we learn, and the way we interact in educational settings. These technologies offer exciting possibilities to enhance student engagement, personalize their learning experiences, and foster creativity as well as critical thinking. However, with these opportunities also come challenges and considerations that warrant our careful exploration and reflection. During this webinar, we will have the privilege of hearing from esteemed speakers who will be sharing explorations and implementations of emerging technologies in education. Their valuable insights and experiences will shed light on the latest trends and best practices in this dynamic field. As we embark on this intellectual journey, let us approach it with open minds, a spirit of collaboration, and a commitment to continuous learning. I extend my deepest appreciation to all the speakers who have graciously accepted our invitation to share their knowledge and expertise, as well as their experiences. I would also like to express my gratitude to the organizing committee whose tireless efforts have made this webinar possible. Last but not least, I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you for your presence here today. Your participation and engagement will undoubtedly enrich our discussions and contribute to the collective advancement in education. Without further ado, let us embark on this enlightening journey of exploration, discovery, and innovation in emerging technology and practices in education. Thank you. Good afternoon once again, and may this webinar be a fruitful and enlightening experience for us all.
thank you, sir, for those insightful opening remarks. And now, I have the honor of introducing our esteemed two guest speakers which are respective experts in the field of education and has an extensive knowledge of emerging technologies and practices. We are delighted to have them share their expertise with us today. Our first speaker is Sir John A. Bacchus, MSCPE, a distinguished speaker with a wealth of experience and expertise in the field of computer engineering and education. He holds a certification as a computer engineer and is a licensed teacher. He has achieved a Master of Science in Computer Engineering from Mapua University and is currently pursuing his PhD in Information Technology Integration at the University of the Immaculate Conception. His impressive academic background includes a Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering from the University of Mindanao, Davao City. He has earned his unit towards a Bachelor of Science in Education from the North Davao College, currently serving as an associate professor at the University of the Mindanao since 2018. He is dedicated to imparting his knowledge and expertise to the next generation of professionals. In addition to his teaching career, he has a professional background as a technology consultant at DXC Technology from 2017 to 2018. His practical experience in this industry has further enriched his understanding of emerging technologies and their application. His research interests encompass various areas including agricultural technology, educational technology, computer vision, image processing, and embedded system. His contribution to the academic community are reflected in his published research paper, several of which are indexed in the Scopus. Notable publications include Detection and Identification with Analysis of Carica papaya leaf using Android in the Journal of the Advances Information Technology, and Identification of Pork Meat Freshness using Neural Network, presented at the 2021 IEEE International Conference on Electronic Technology, Communication, and Information. His dedication to the technology advancement extends beyond academia, and he is currently applying for DOST research grant with a focus on addressing the nation's technological limitation. As a project leader, he has proposed a DREAM DPWH road evaluation and mapping of pathos, just prescriptive and diagnostic analytic for road path hole detection and classification. With his extensive knowledge, practical experience, and research contribution, he is an esteemed speaker who brings a unique perspective, perspective on emerging technologies and practical in education. We are honored to have him share this insight with us today. Without further ado, let us warm welcome Sir John A. Bacchus, MSc PE. Sir,
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Can I be heard? Am I audible?
yes, sir, loud and clear.
Okay. How about my screen? Is my presentation visible as well?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm very honored now to be speaking right here in front of you guys, the experts of this field, and I'm quite thrilled and very nervous actually, together with Sir Neil John. So I am very thankful for inviting me as your speaker for this afternoon in your academic requirements. So once again, thank you, and I'm glad that I'll be able to share the emerging technologies and practices in education. By the way, once again, I am John A. Bacchus, and let us now begin. So, actually, in the context of 4.0, which is in demand today, Education 4.0 is a technique of learning that is connected with the fourth industrial revolution. And it focuses on transforming the future of education through advanced technology and automation. Let us first define what actually is an emerging technology. Okay. So stated by Rotolo D, Hicks D, and Martin, PR. So they have defined that emerging technology in Industry 4.0 is a technology, the development of which, from today's point of view, is uncertain and not obvious. But through complex anticipatory research, it is possible to identify its potential radical impact in selected areas such as social, technological, economic, and scientific. So we highlight here uncertain. Why is it uncertain? It's uncertain because there are more and more developments and new technologies evolve, but with research, it will be very helpful and it can impact all respective areas, such as mentioned here. And one good impact of the emerging technology is with education. For examples, what we see nowadays are smart classrooms, right? Smart classrooms, and we have already seen some of the schools in the Philippines who is already starting to have that, smart classrooms, and the use of which will benefit many sectors of the economy and the society. So, what do you think, or what actually is IT integration, and what is its importance? Well, one of that is it equips students for their future careers. So actually, this number one here is through the internet, mobile devices and computers. Students have the chance to acquire skills to compete globally for in-demand jobs. Because once again, technology is uh, rapidly rising. No, so it will be very in demand in the future, and actually, it is already in demand right now. So regardless of where these jobs might be, in the IT agriculture, in art, in health, in research, food, industry, everywhere, workers need computer skills. Okay. And number two is it personalizes learning and teaching approaches. So actually, some learners, no, we cannot just box ourselves into just speaking. We have to, as teachers or educators, we have to be able to think how learners learn. There are different kinds of learners. So some learners better learn through hearing and through great visuals. Some learn more on logical learning and some more on verbal. Yes, it varies. And it's quite a challenge for teachers to perform all these in class. So because of IT integration, um, it benefits everyone. Number three is it drives down costs in the long run and brings more learning opportunities. That's very true. Tech tools are expensive. However, if we are going to buy or invest in technology, in the near future, in the long run, they'll cut your costs. Examples, ebooks or online modules will drive down your cost in printing, right? You can use our tablets, our iPads, our laptops just by learning and browsing. So, and lastly, it boosts teamwork and communication, and it's very timely kasi um, even us, no, mga teachers, educators, we communicate because of IT, right? Information technology. Okay, so let us see through this ICT Development Index. I'll be sharing you what's the problem, no? Why are we still developing? What's lagging behind comparing to us from the different countries who are already developed? So according to International Telecommunication Union, um, which the ICT development index here shown is the ICT impact is equal to the ICT readiness, its infrastructure and its access, the ICT use and its intensity, and the ICT capability here, skills, is the ICT impact and outcomes. And based on that, let me zoom this in. So the ICT development index here in Asia, according to them once again, is the Philippines is still in the developing, while Singapore is the only one in Asia that has been already developed in terms of ICT impact. One of the problem of that is because of this. It's one problem here. Our student or computer to student ratio. So yeah, and another thing on the next slide, according to Tomorrow 2018, there are challenges that threatens this development. One of that is once again the infrastructures and facilities, which is I've shown you in a slide a while ago. Number two is the human resource, the limited training for teachers, lack of motivation, and low technological knowledge. And number three is this is where we step in, the technology enthusiasts and experts. The need for a technological leader that would play a pivotal role in effectively integrating ICT in the curriculum. So, once again, this is where we step in. We have to be able to grasp or develop ideas to for the nation to be uplifted. Okay, so let us now learn, no, what are some of those emerging technologies in education that might give you an idea on what you're going to be focused on in your studies or in your interests, research interests in the near future. So lahat naman po kasi dito, right, mga participants natin are um, still studying. So you are all enthusiasts, you like technology so much. And what are those things that you can help? So one of that, or the emerging technologies in education include, one is virtual reality. Now, what is a virtual reality? It's a completely immersive experience that replaces a real life environment with a simulated one. So actually, ang findings ng research 2, I will show you on the tawag dito, yung references. So the findings of research 2 stated that using virtual reality in teaching will help institute in an effective face-to-face classroom environment and solve the difficulties that we, most especially the students, face. Thus, students' learning experiences will be more effective. And this is actually anchored on to the theory of Edgar Dale's cognitive experience. Later on, I will explain to you what is this cone here and what is this cone all about. So, what are some examples of virtual reality? So, for example, in this picture, no, imagine that if that virtual reality shows you the amazing parts of the planet, this can help learners what the actual size is, the shape, color of an object, aside from reading of what the object is really all about. When iba kasi talaga yung experience if we see rather than just reading, no, than imagining. So this is where again we step in. Kasi marami ng mga ang dami namang researches na about some planets. That's so as IT experts, we are going to say make a simulation model for that particular planet, right? Number two is campus tour. So this actually was very rampant during the pandemic when all schools were closed. So, campus tour or the lockdown has impacted the closure of schools in which most of the students want to see their campus. What does it really look like? So, virtual reality can help them navigate through the different parts of school, from different buildings to different academic sport groups, and etc. Another one is in education, virtual reality is actually used in going back to the past. Now, so learning history can be very difficult, and I'm sure you quite agree on that. So because it's quite difficult, now virtual reality will help us, no, in in advancing our learning. So this might be very fun and it might be very interactive if the virtual reality or VR here is present. So that's one, virtual reality. Let's go with another example, which is augmented reality. Yung augmented reality naman is we enhance, no, you augment your surroundings by adding digital elements to a live view, often by using the camera on a smartphone. So as you can see in this picture, parang in-enhance yung what surrounds you. So research 3 stated that one application that will help students learning experience is through augmented reality's level of interactivity with visual representation, thus increasing information integration to students. Let us see some examples right here. So one is laboratory simulations. It's actually really good, or lab simulations learning experiences. So a lab simulation experience or is its usefulness in terms of laboratory activities. Real life scenarios can enhance your learning when applying your learned theories from lectures. Instead of just knowing how to do stuffs by just reading, applying simulations in augmented reality is a great step in a good education. Another here, number two. practical activities in education under medicine. So how great would it be if under operating we can see what is inside the body with the use of augmented reality? Students will find more ease as they will be very confident to take part into operations as it will guide them what to touch. And the GeoGebra augmented reality. So let me hover on this for you. Diba? So we can have this pag, for example, we write an equation and it will automatically, you just place your camera, it will automatically graph. Right? It's amazing how technology works. Okay. So our educators in mathematics, including me, sometimes find it so hard to show the exactness of a graph of an equation in 3D models when we draw in a whiteboard. So magdodrawing tayo ng mga 3D models. However, it could be very, very difficult for us to do that. With the help of augmented reality, this will help them to, for example, to find the volumes or areas of any equations with much more easier. Another one actually is mobile learning. One emerging technology in education is mobile learning. So it's based on mobility, often through technology, including the smartphones, tablets, laptops, and of course the wearable technology. So findings of research 5 has stated about the need to continue education amidst confinement in the homes due to pandemic. Thus, without pandemic, mobile learning is still very essential to both educators and learners to upload necessary didactic instructions, interactive video lectures, and other materials. So even before pandemic, mobile learning has already been rampant. So there have been distance learning that happened because of this emerging tech, which is mobile learning. So one example of that is Duolingo, right? Quizlet, and this one, TED-Ed, very famous. So TED-Ed or is the education arm of TED, which means Technology, Entertainment, and Design video platform. The videos may vary in length and it covers a massive scope of subjects and expand upon learning by encouraging learners to answer questions about the video, explore additional resources, and discuss what they have learned by building in additional exercises that takes learners from passive viewers to active participants. The next one is quite very rampant actually. It's artificial intelligence. Now, artificial intelligence refers to the simulation of human intelligence in machines that are programmed to think like humans and mimic their actions. There actually have been findings in research on one of that is from number 7 that I will show you later on. Is study health instructors using artificial intelligence such as humanoid robots and web-based chatbots ChatGPT, right, perform their specific duties and roles such as evaluating and assessing students' assignments more efficiently and effectively. I can apply this to my teaching as well and utilize automated replies during busy hours like in email. Pwede natin siya lagyan na currently busy, currently on a trip. This will also enhance the teacher's presence, making the students that they are feel not neglected. They do not feel neglected and their concerns are being addressed efficiently. Hence, the quality of instructional delivery will drastically change in enhancing students' learning experiences. Now, let's go through some of the examples which are used in education. One of that is task automation. Actually, there has already been artificial intelligence that has been made, like applications. For example, like bubble sheet. Automatic na lalabas yung score is scan mo lang, scan using your phone, lalabas yung score. Another one is yung automated essay scoring. So teachers do not directly experience the benefit of the tools, rather the state grades the exams in a faster, more efficient manner. So another is the 24/7 assistance. No, there are several AI powered chatbots are already built for education as a sector. They work as student assistants around the clock to provide answers to their queries at any time. So they don't have to wait. to see the professors in their office or in the classroom. So yan yung 24/7 assistance. And the widely used ChatGPT. So it has helped us a lot, right? Aminin natin. No? So it helped administrators to schedule courses and individual to manage our daily, our weekly or monthly routines for our schedules. So that is one example, or three of those examples are from artificial intelligence. The next one that I'm going to talk about is the adaptive learning. Adaptive learning, or sometimes adaptive teaching, is the delivery of custom learning experiences that addresses the unique needs of an individual through just-in-time feedback, pathways, and resources, rather than providing a one-size-fits-all learning experience. Kasi nga, in a classroom, ang dami nating students and um, there are different types of learners and we cannot do just one strategy in teaching. Each learners, once again, I have mentioned kaganina that each learners have their own way of learning. And according to Posner 2017, adaptive learning is the ability to give each learner a personalized course. So isang yung ibang estudyante, personalized course designed based on his or her strength, weakness, goals, and engagement patterns. So gagamitan ng learning analytics yon. In adaptive learning, the learner interacts with a program, then it responds to questions and has their performance assessed by quizzes, activity performance, and learning sessions. So yung AI dynamic customizes content to meet the need of individual by using the machine learning, cognitive science, predictive analytics, and the educational theory algorithm. Examples of that is ito si Newton Alta. So I will hover on you. This is actually a really good uh, play ko to. Yun siya. Ay, no, saan pala? Sorry, sir. Ay, okay. So, explain ko na lang po yung video na nakalagay doon. So, using Newton Alta it's like a learning management system. You can design whatever topics you want. And if the student struggles, yung AI, yung the AI will be able to assign that student where does that student have the difficulty in learning. So babalik siya dun sa prerequisite na topic. Parang ganun siya, si adaptive learning. Also with Pearson Reactive Labs. And number 3 is si Dreambox. So These are all examples of adaptive learning. So, nandito naman yung source sa YouTube if you want to see some examples of it. I can share the link later on. So, next one is 3D printing. So, actually, 3D printing ngayon is very widely used din, no? So, Gibson, 2014 defined 3D printing as a process of creating three-dimensional objects by layering materials based on a digital model. So, it involves the successive deposition of thin layers of materials such as plastic, metals, or ceramics to build a physical object layer by layer. So, in the Philippines, there is this one sikat na 3D printing, which is Maker Lab Electronics. And actually, there is already been ang dami na ding 3D printing dito sa Mindanao. But before year 2018, parang you need to go through some places pa to have 3D printing. And based on the studies, 16, 17, and 18, the benefits of 3D printing in education are as follows. One is its student engagement, enhancing creativity, improving spatial thinking skills because you're going to design, no? So your thinking skills spatially will improve. Student motivation, interdisciplinary collaboration, active learning, problem solving, and design thinking. So let's go through some examples right here. Example ng 3D printing in education. So, cyborg beast design. Ayan. So, number two is complex surgical tools. So we can make use of 3D printing. Uh, Impressive that these tiny 3D printed tools are capable of saving lives. And in education, 3D printed learning materials can enhance education for all. Now, based on those things that we have learned, those stuff that we have learned, what are some of the emerging practices in education naman? So, the emerging practices of education has actually been quite, yung pandemic actually has quite helped because it has transformed digitally, no, rapidly. Yung digital transformation in teaching and learning has rapidly transformed yung collaboration and global connections. So, one example of the emerging practices is the streaming of live lessons. That's just like what we are doing right now actually, no? So, sinistream po ata ng students yung ating seminar. So, this is one example, streaming of live lessons. Nowadays, with the help of smartphones, anyone can create a video and publish in the virtual world, sharing live news with the rest of the world. The same goes for online classes, which can be watched in real time, even allowing interaction with the teacher. A valuable resource for schools and online courses. Understand how streaming live online classes can improve distance learning course. Okay, one is streaming of live lessons. Another one is after the stream, we can rewatch. Now we can rewatch the videos or the video by accessing recorded lesson. So let's say for example, as a teacher, I am still currently creating my own video lectures for my students to rewatch if they want to rewatch. So discuss Zoom, yung mga platforms, Google Meet, MS Teams. They can be recorded and then we can upload them to be accessed by our students. So recording our lessons is one way to blend learning that can benefit all of our students. Kasi let's face it, we can sometimes there are things that we can understand in just one one hearing, no? Pag narinig natin siya once, sometimes we cannot understand it. So accessing it once again, babalik-balikin natin siya, it will make our learning enhanced. So mas maiintindihan natin siya. Recordings provide flexibility to view or review content at learner's own pace. Recordings allow learners to use other resources at the same time review the recordings. So students clarify the material after attending lectures or before an assessment. So before mag-quiz, ala, I'm going to rewatch the video first kasi mag-quiz pala bukas. So it's beneficial to both naman, di ba? So recordings are used to relearn difficult material and rewrite class notes. So blended learning is actually a formal education now, in which a student learns at least in path through delivery of content and instruction via digital and online media with some element of student control over time, place, path, or even the pace. This next one is, or the next uh, topic that I'm going to talk, thing that I'm going to talk about in emerging practices in education is collaborative learning. So this one is peer learning or peer instruction is a type of collaborative learning that involves students no, working in pairs or small groups. Actually, yung collaborative learning has already been or is already ginagawa na natin siya even before. However, ngayon lang it has transformed no into into technology based. Similar to the idea that two or three heads are better than one, educational researchers have found out that through peer instruction, students teach each other by addressing misunderstandings and clarifying misconceptions. So, uy friend, ano yung ano? Hindi ko naintindihan yung sinabi ni Sir dun sa lecture, recorded lecture kahapon. So, we use other platforms that just face to face. So, that's collaborative learning. Next one is through conferences, through networked professional learning. So professional learning networks represents any group who engages in collaborative learning with others outside of their everyday community of practice. So for example, meron tayong conference, international conference na nandun lang yung technology and you're very interested and very enthusiastic upon joining that. So, because of this platform, this technological platform that has been offered to us, that has been given to us, we can be able to learn still, no? Even if it is very distant. So the network professional learning networks aims to bring together the scholars, the practitioners, and policymakers with the common goal of better understanding and supporting networks for learning of educators with the ultimate goals of improving student learning. So this is a learning through working which requires different professions to cross boundaries and work together to develop new forms of practice. Example, uh, yung pwede yung police na tsaka dentist, they will work together to formulate new ways of detecting early signs of domestic abuse from dental records. So pwede ganun yung example in network professional learning. And next one is learning in immersive virtual environments. Actually, this is the last emerging practice, and another speaker will be giving you more examples of emerging technologies and practices. So, learning in immersive virtual environments. I have mentioned earlier yung virtual reality and augmented reality, which is an emerging tech in education. Si Learning in Immersive Virtual Environments. So yung University of Cebu has already been doing this. Let me know if your school is as well. But I have read that University of Cebu has already been learning in immersive virtual environments. As it name implies, immersive learning is a process in which learners are completely immersed through yung parang helmet, o glasses, or screen in a virtual learning experience. So there are two areas of section. So again, yun yung VR at AR. So what's the importance of this? Now, according to Benjamin Franklin, sabi niya, tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I may learn. Now, dito papasok yung theory ni Edgar Dale. So, Edgar Dale's cone of experience. The nearer the base, the nearer that you are on the base, the more direct and the more purposeful experience it is. So, we learn by doing. And that is with the help of virtual reality and augmented reality. Itong tatlo to, dramatized experience, contrived experiences, and the direct and purposeful experiences. So based dito, if you involve yourself, if you involve your student in learning through VRs and ARs, yung parang ipapractice mo yung theories, student may or will learn more. Okay, so what actually is the benefit of this immersive virtual environment? So the research in 19 discussed how evident or the educational benefits of augmented reality and virtual reality is their ability to enrich both teaching and learning activities and their role as effective in educational sector or field. So these benefits involve our learning, our training, our designing, our collaboration, taking field trips without leaving classrooms, and distance learning. So these are of the benefits of immersive virtual environments. And this is now the time to step up, no? So ang dami na nating ideas on how we are going to integrate IT in the field of education. And I hope that I gave you an idea on what you're going to do in your dissertation and your research in the near future. These are my references, and thank you very much for having me as your speaker once again. That would be all. Thank you very much.
Okay, moving on. Thank you, Sir John, for your insightful presentation on the emerging technologies and practices in education. Your expertise and perspective have truly enriched our understanding of the topic. We are grateful for the knowledge you have shared with us today. For our next speaker is an accomplished technologist and educators who specializes in leveraging emerging technologies for educational purposes. His insights into the latest trends and best practices in educational technology are highly valuable. He is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Information System, cum laude, at the Institute of Information and Communication Technology, West Visayas State University, La Paz, Iloilo City in the year 2012. Obtained his Master of Science in Information Technology, MSCIT degree at the Ateneo de Davao University, Davao City in the year 2018. Former intern of the Creative Services Division, Cultural Center of the Philippines, 2011. Faculty member of the Computer Studies Department of the College of Engineering and Technology and Masters of Information Technology program of the Graduate School of Notre Dame of Marbelle University in the year 2012 to 2023. Designated as the University Registrar of the Notre Dame of Marbelle University in the city of Coronadal, province of South Cotabato from 2020 to 2023. Currently pursuing his postgraduate degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Education, major in Information Technology Integration at the University of Immaculate Conception, Davao City. Let us warmly welcome Sir Niljan C. Raburar, MSc IT. Sir,
Okay. Hello, sir. Am I audible?
yes Sir Niljan, okay na po.
Okay, thank you. Okay, wait lang. To share my screen.
Yes, Sir Neil.
Hear me? Sorry for that. I cannot hear. Wait lang po.
Yes, Doc Neil, you are loud and audible, Doc Neil.
Sir Neil, walang audio.
Okay na po.
Yes, Sir Neil, okay na.
Ayan, Sir James, nakikita na.
Yes, okay na.
Ah, Sorry for the interruption because I'm having trouble with my laptop. I cannot actually share the PowerPoint presentation, but I can only share my entire screen, and I cannot see the your responses via chat. That's why I can only respond through your voice lang, not the audio. So please tell me if ever may problems po. Anyway, communicating with Sir James and sa messenger. Thank you for that. So thank you for inviting us together with Sir John Bacchus for your webinar here in your subject. So this is emerging technologies and practices and in education. So this is actually the continuation of what Sir John had mentioned earlier. Okay, so I will be sharing you some insights now on the following emerging technologies. So we have the learning games and simulations. We have the wearable technology. We have the MOOCs, or we call this one as the massive open online courses. We have machine learning. We have immersive learning. We have 5G and extended connectivity. We have robotics and we have drones. So my presentation is very straightforward. So let's proceed to the learning games and simulation. I know most of you or most of us know were able to integrate games in our classes. Nung time na hindi pa uso yung digital na games. So this time kasi, especially during and after the pandemic, we were able to maximize our resources, online resources. That's why patok na patok yung mga applications, mobile applications or even yung mga desktop applications just to supplement this to our classes. So learning games and simulations is part of the emerging technologies nowadays. Okay, so whenever you um, hear or see the term learning games, this is actually associated to educational games. So if you would like to look for the references now, educational games, or it could be named as based learning. Okay, so let's define first what's this? What's with learning games? According to GE 2017, uh, these learning games to refer to the intentionally designed for the purpose of education. So this intended for the those things that and so we put that. Okay? So this is actually our learning games. Now they are actually designed, no, to help us people, to help us students, no, understand the concepts na gusto nating integrate, no, depending on the context, no, or the subject, the learning domains, and to develop problem solving skills as we play these games. Okay? So ito yung common na strategy or common na technology rather that we are implementing inside the classroom. Now, let's have simulation kasi this is associated with the learning games. Okay? So simulation
Sir
are
Neil,
or simulation, yes.
yung
Hello.
screen niyo po kasi it's not visible.
Hello. Oh my God, it's not showing the screen. Ganito na lang. Sir James, I will be sending file na lang, Sir James. Somebody would, ano na lang.
Yeah, sige Sir Neil, pakisend na lang.
Sige, sige. I'll send it to you. Sorry for that.
Sending na Sir Neil. We will resume at 2:03. So while waiting kay Sir Neil sa pag-send ng PowerPoint. Thank you.
Yeah, while waiting, I would gladly accept questions po during my presentation.
Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can I ask question to Sir John Bacchus?
Hi,
Hello,
hi,
Sir
Sir
John. Good
Archie.
afternoon.
Oh, good
May I just
afternoon.
ask just one question? How does this gamifications contribute to education, and what technologies are involved?
Hmm. Yes, really good question, Sir Archie. Actually, gamification integrates the game element and the mechanics into educational context. So, yung mga modules, pwede nating ilagay sa games, ipapasok natin siya to increase student motivation and engagement. So, it's very fun, right, to play games while learning as well. So technologies such as game-based learning platforms, educational apps, digital badges, they are used to create interactive game-like experiences that make learning enjoyable and fosters skill development. Thank you, Sir Archie.
Thank you, Sir John.
Mm. Yes, Ma'am Adeline.
Hi, Sir John. Thank you kayo sa mo very timely and practical na input, especially for us teachers. Actually, it's like an update for us as well. Um, I would like to ask this one, Mr. John. How can immersive technologies like, as you mentioned, the AR or the augmented reality or the VR, the virtual reality, transform practical or hands-on learning experiences?
Mm. Yes, yes, thank you, Ma'am Adeline. Pang Miss Universe. So, immersive technologies like VR and AR, like augmented reality, have this power to transform practical or hands-on learning experiences by yung providing realistic na simulations, like yung examples ko kanina, virtual laboratories and interactive training scenarios. Students can engage in various experiments, no, explore complex environments and practice real life skills in a safe and controlled safe settings or virtual setting. So both VRs and ARs or AR rather also enable remote collaboration where students from different locations can work together on virtual projects, which can also foster a sense of teamwork and cross-cultural exchange as well.
Salamat, sir.
Thank you.
Doc John, there is a question coming from Doc Mark Van Boladaco.
Yes.
The question is, on your own observation and evaluation, Sir John, how far is the Philippines in embracing and implementing FIRE or FIRE in teaching and learning?
Yes, I believe FIR means, ano nga yun, sir?
Doc Van is referring to Fourth Industrial Revolution, Sir John.
Yung, yung Philippines actually, we have already a data from the International Communication Union. Philippines is, like for us, sir, Doc, mga technology experts, we are still in the developing phase, and I hope that we are going to help one another, no, to uplift the nation to become a developed nation in terms of teaching and learning in educational context. So as once again as technological experts, we have this power, we have this voice to uh, to elevate our technology, especially in the field of education. So I hope that we have the power to speak, we have the power to voice out our expertise. So I hope that and by doing that, we extend our help in researching and in helping more in the fourth industrial revolution. So we are still on the developing phase.
All right,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Sir John. I think we are done with our Q&A portion to Sir John. I think Sir Neil is now ready. Sir Neil.
Hello, sir. Wait lang. I will try to share my screen first. Hopefully this will work. So, uh, Sir James, ayan talaga, Sir James. Kindly do the honor na lang, Sir James. I have already emailed you. Nagka-problema ang presentation ko with my Mac. So, considering the restrictions, I do not know what's happening. And the AirPods are not coordinating well with my machine.
Okay, Sir Neil, downloading.
Thank you. Ayan. Nakita na po ba? Sir James, parang nakapresent na yung sa akin.
Sige, sige. Cancel ko na.
Okay po, thank you. Ayan na. Kitang-kita na po.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ayan.
Yes, sir.
Pasensya na ha, pasensya sa abala, no. So, technical problems no with my Mac. So anyway, sige ulitin ko na lang kasi hindi narinig kanina. So, this is actually the extension of the presentation which was of course presented by Sir John Bacchus, no. So, pertaining to the emerging technologies and practices in the education. Okay? So thank you for inviting us here no for your webinar. Ayan. So this afternoon, I'm going to share with you some insights on the following emerging technologies. So we have the learning games and simulations. We have the wearable technologies. We have the MOOCs or the massive open online courses. We have the machine learning, the immersive learning, the 5G and extended connectivity, the robotics, and drones. Okay, So let's start with the learning games. Okay, actually, this is not new to us, no, because we have been implementing learning games, no, inside the classroom, no, before, but those days, no, hindi pa ganun ka upgraded, no. I mean, in the sense na hindi pa ganun ka digital, no. Anyway, ngayon, technologies are upgrading. That is why it's still part of the emerging technologies, and together with the concept of simulations. Ayan siya, na-apply na natin. So whenever you search on the term learning games, this is actually associated with educational games, or this is also associated with game-based learning. Synonymous naman sila. Ganon. Okay? So according to Ge, no, he actually define, no, learning games as the intentionally designed, no, for the purpose of education, or those entertainment games that have incidental or educational value. So this is our educational games. Now the main purpose is actually to help us understand different concepts, no, depending on the subject that we are teaching, no, and to learn the domain knowledge and to develop problem solving skills, no, as we play games. Okay, so yun yung ating definition ng learning games. Now, we have a concept called simulation, and this is associated with learning games. So simulation, these are actually instructional scenarios, no, where the learner is placed in a world. It could be a virtual world, no, defined by the teacher to represent a reality within which students interact. And this is actually the best, no, na application for experiential learning. No? As we can recall, no, kay John Dewey, okay, John Dewey's theory, no, learning by doing. This is actually associated with, no, experiential learning. No, so this is student centered. Okay, so we implement this, no, sa klase, no, to have the student centered approach, no, because this will allow our students to build, no, their understanding of what they're learning through their experiences and interactions, no, although simulation lang siya, pero it mimics, no, the reality, no, the actual form, although in most of the time, no, nasa classroom lang tayo, no, and then that is why CHED allows us to have these educational tours or practicum, no, na nasa outside, nasa field work tayo kumbaga pa, but because of these learning games and simulations, it actually adds to or adds value to our learning, no, kahit wala pa sa actual. So this is one way of um, um, ano yan, one way of upgrading, no, ourselves, no, with this type of technology. Okay, now, Campos et al. 2020 defines the simulation-based education as, the use of simulation software, tools, and serious games to enrich the teaching and learning processes. So this is supported by research that, again, depending on the context, no, depending on the subject that we are teaching, so we have to look, no, for relevant, no, learning games and simulations that we can apply din, no, sa klase. Ayan. So, according to the study of Lachopoulos and Macri in the year 2017, no, games and or simulations actually provides, no, a positive impact on the learning goals. Okay, basta ang gagawin lang natin is to adopt this kind of technology. Kasi nandyan lang yan sila, kulang lang naman is for implementation. Okay? Ayan. So, Gross 2007 has actually identified, no, these genres of games that we can actually ano yan, select, no. So these could be action games, adventure games, or fighting games. O kahit na fighting games nandiyan, di ba? So action games, these are response-based video games. Sa adventure naman, the player solves problems to progress through different levels within the so-called virtual world. For the fighting games naman, this involve fighting with the computer-controlled characters or virtual characters, no, or those controlled by the other players. I'm sure marami kayong alam dito. Okay. Next, okay, we also have the role-playing games. Ayan. So players assume the roles of fictional characters. We have simulations. These are games modeled after natural or man-made systems or phenomena in which players have to achieve pre-specified goals. And then we also have sports games. This is very popular. So these are based on different kinds of sports. And then another one is strategy games. No, so these recreate historical scenes or fictional scenarios in which players must devise an appropriate strategy to achieve the goal. So if you can see, no, maraming ano siya, no, marami siyang flavors kumbaga pa or genres or categories ng games natin. So it's really up to us on how we implement this based no sa ating based sa ating context and based sa ating subject. So ito yung variety. Next, these are actually some applications na pwede nyo magamit. Okay? Actually, Google Play is the key or Apple Store. Ayan, we have we have a plenty of applications to look for. All we need to do is to just explore, no, download, no, and then try. We try these applications if this will actually complement no, or supplement no our learning goals no, to our students. Just like for example, Mathland Edition Games. Okay, this is um, downloadable no, sa Google Play. And then we also have the Khan Academy for kids. Okay. And then we also have ito, Flight Pilot 3D Simulator. So again, these are just some of the applications that you can use no. But still, no, all you need to do is to just look for the appropriate application or game that you would want to incorporate in your class. Ayan. And then we also have chemistry and physics simulation. Okay, next, emerging technology is what we call wearable technologies. Wearable technologies are actually new no, to us. No? Although in the US, this has been in existence um, years ago. No? So um, pag sinabing wearable technology, these are devices, no? Specifically electronic devices, no? Which can be worn, no? Sa atin, sa user, no? Or it can be attached to our clothes. So ito na yung patok ngayon, no? Hype ngayon sa market. And the perfect example is what we call smartwatch, no? As you can see on your screen, this is an Apple Watch. Okay, ano bang meron sa Apple Watch? Why is it that this has become um, a subject din no, for research no, in the field of education? Kasi, di ba, if you can um, look no, sa website ng the website ng Apple, this is particularly focused on our health, no? Kasi pwede siyang maka-measure ng ng oxygen level, your GPS location, lifestyle talaga. But this can actually be an opportunity for us educators to use this no sa ating klase. Mamaya malalaman ninyo what will be the example. Okay. Now, these are the things that we can actually see no, sa market ngayon. Okay? So we have smart glasses. Google has actually introduced the Google Glass, right? Ayan. So, actually, hindi pa ako nakakita ng Google Glass physically, no? Pero it has been, it has been um, in the market. Okay? And then, yan, smartwatch, meron na tayo. Smart shirt, meron din. Yung SGPS, GPRS, body control. We have the Bluetooth key tracker. We have the smart shoes, imagine. So, there are tiny electronic circuitries no, inside the smart shoes or the shoes that will make it smart. Okay, we also have the smart socks. Imagine we have the smart pants, smart belt, smart ring, smart finger, smart bracelet. Lahat pa lang nagiging smart. So these are the things na wearable sa atin. Question, bakit tinawag silang smart? No, if you can actually look into the definition. Wala talagang specific na na reference. Why is it na smart siya, no? And if you can research, no, sabi lang doon is bakit tinawag na smart because it kahit maliit siya, no, it's very intelligent somehow because it has sensors, no? It can sense anything. Like for example, it can sense uh, um, of course, the vision. So, meron siyang camera, di ba? Meron siyang microphone. It can sense voice, no? Ayan. It can also sense your location. Ganon. So, that makes it smart. Okay? And a lot. Okay? So, these are the things, no? These are the emergent emerging technologies which pertain to wearable technologies. Okay, there is a research by David and Hilber in 2016 wherein they conducted the attitudes of students now pertaining to the use of the smartwatch, a smartwatch no, as a learning tool. In that year, no, they have found out na hindi talaga siya ano no, hindi talaga siya magamit daw for education. So ito, the study however revealed that both smartwatch owners and non-owners were not convinced that the smartwatches can be used for education purposes. Kasi yung study nila was only restricted to the students' attitudes, no? Attitudes na naman. However, in the year 2019, the study of Liang et al. No, developed this smart interactive education system which is based on wearable devices. So na ano nila nakita nila na there is a potential of this smartwatch to be incorporated in learning in the education. Okay, so the system accurately capture hand gestures of students and respond instantly to teachers for increased interaction. Just imagine the figure, no, medyo naputol lang siya, actually naputol siya, no, sorry for that. This is actually the system architecture of their study. So through the multiple physical information of students, the system can provide the crux points of the learning process using the deep data analysis. So ginamit nila yung data analytics, no, or learning analytics, no, to be specific. So ganun pala, nagagamit pala siya. Okay, kasi smartwatch is just a hardware. In order for it to be useful, we have to look for the applications. Either you adopt the application or you develop the application. Okay, so that is why researchers are into this, to further improve, our um, learning or our education, with the use of these emerging technologies. Next, okay, I found this on the web, regarding the benefits of the wearable technology in e-learning. E-learning is not only constrained, no, in the education sector. I mean, the higher education or the secondary education, okay, or basic education. This is also applicable to all, even in the industry, kasi meron din silang e-learning, meron din silang training, okay. So first one, a more immersive and improved learning experience. Yes, no, to have a better customer service, a condensed feedback loop, ease of access to important information, increase employee productivity and collaboration. Again, because this is an additional technology which will actually help, us, on our journey for learning. Next one is smart glasses. Okay, this is part of the wearable technology. I mentioned earlier about the Google Glass. Now, so Kumar et al. In 2018 conducted a study on the use of these smart glasses now in education. So revealed that the features of the smart glasses are in favor of the requirements of the teaching and learning processes. So magamit talaga siya. Okay, what are those things that pwede nating mapagamitan for education? So applications of smart glasses include the documentation of our lecture. Yes. Augmented reality. This has been mentioned by Sir John kanina. AR. Okay. Augmented reality or AR. That's a shortcut. On-site report presentation, recording lectures as videos, okay, capturing essential points as images, in short, maka-screenshot, okay, and then we have telementoring, understanding the listener's experience, etc. So these are the things that we can do, in order for us to improve our learning, okay, teaching learning. So this is smart class, okay, or smart classes. So this is an example of a prototype which was released, Google co-founder Sergey Brin shows off Google Glass at an event in San Francisco. Ayan. Okay. Next, emerging technology is what we call MOOCs. Okay. Some would say that's MOOCs or MOOCs. Ayan. But I used to call it MOOCs, or simply put, the massive open online courses. So I know you're familiar with this, and some of you were able to use this, no, particularly in the mass training. Okay. So a massive open online course is a model for delivering learning content online, no, to any person who wants to take a course with no limit on attendance. Okay, I'd like to plug this in. ayan. So this was in 2018 photo. Actually, I was part of the of this picture. However, there was a conflict with our schedule last time kasi that was the time wherein we have presented our thesis in Ateneo. So I was able to graduate with this team, no, with these people, no, for the DUST Shirt grant, no, on data science. So it's actually a partnership with Coursera and MOOCs.ph. So we actually applied for that, and then we learned through the portal, Coursera, and for how many months? Like for 5 months, no? And for 1,000 applicants that time, sabi ni Pishard, only 300 plus were able to ano yan, were able to proceed, no, or were qualified. And out of 300 plus who were qualified, only 141 were able to graduate with the program. So medyo madugo siya, pero yan, kinaya. Okay? So this is the group picture. Ayan siya. So anyway, if there are instances, no, that the government agencies such as DUST, kasi yung DUST Presured, ito sila yung government agency na very active on promoting uh, MOOCs, no? Especially on the training of these emerging technologies and emerging na ano din na mga disciplines, no, like data science. Okay, so this is the program is entitled Data Connectivity and Intelligence Data Science Track. Okay, so we were the batch one. We were the pioneering batch of that time. Ayan. Sayang lang hindi ako nakapunta for attending our graduation. Okay, another example of MOOC is this massive open distance e-learning model from the UPOU or UP Open University. I suggest, no, or yeah, I recommend this to you, no. If you have free time, no, and if you're looking for something na ma-upgrade niyo yung skills niyo, ma-upgrade niyo yung knowledge niyo, I highly recommend this model, no, from UPOU. This is free, no. This is the official MOOC platform of the University of the Philippines, Open University. So there are a lot of topics, no, courses rather, no, na binigay nila. So ayan, this is the sample dashboard of the MOOC. Ayan. Try nyo mag-sign up mamaya, no. This is for free. Ayan. And then this is the calendar, no, of the online courses available for the UPOU. So maganda kasi nasa field tayo ng education and then ng IT. So there are a lot of trainings or there are a lot of courses here which are actually relevant to our field. So just take a look at the schedule and the website. No? So this July, they have this media and information literacy in today's digital world, blended teaching and learning using OERs. This is very relevant. No? This is very timely. Ayan. So at least, no, after this webinar, no, you can actually engage into some sort of learning through this MOOC provided by the UPOU. Okay? Ayan. And then next emerging technology is machine learning. Among the emerging technologies, no, machine learning is the quite the most what they call this one, the most difficult, the most sophisticated. Okay? Ayan. So this is actually a branch of AI or artificial intelligence. AI has been mentioned by Sir John kanina, no? So AI and computer science, yeah, pinagtagpo talaga sila, no? Which focuses on the use of data and algorithms to imitate the way that humans learn and gradually improving its accuracy. Machine learning is actually the engine of most of the AI applications nowadays. So this will continue, no, in the future because for as long as the for as long as the applications, no, or the tinatawag nilang knowledge engine are being updated, kumbaga nagiging bright yung AI natin, nagiging smart siya, nagiging intelligent siya. Okay, so I have to share with you some insights, or although we're not going to discuss in detail this one because this is another very comprehensive na topic. So, machine learning is an important component of the growing field of data science. So, kanina na-mention yung data science no sa DOST shared na training no na training grant no. So, this is a popular discipline nowadays. Okay, and in fact, the Commission on Higher Education has introduced the uh, ano yan, the um, draft of the CMO of the BSDS, meron na, no? Bachelor of Science in Data Science. We were able to attend the zonal public consultation in Zamboanga last year. No? So the technical panel for IT education is now on its final stage no ng paggawa ng CMO for that degree program BSDS. So this is the new thing no in the Philippines no. So we are looking forward into that. Okay? So ganun na yung direction natin ngayon. So through the use of statistical methods, algorithms are trained to make classifications or predictions and to uncover key insights in data mining projects. So machine learning is not only for IT, not only for education, but this is actually for all areas no for all disciplines no, even sa agriculture na mention ni Sir John kanina, nagagamit din yung machine learning. Okay, in food science, in tourism no, lahat ng aspects na. Ayan. So these are popular, the top three no, popular na machine learning methods. So meron tayong tinatawag na supervised learning. Baka lang maano ninyo, ma-encounter ninyo na part ito siya ng machine learning. So we have unsupervised and we have semi-supervised. The supervised learning, also known as a supervised machine learning, it's defined by its use of the labeled data sets to train algorithms to classify data or predict outcomes accurately. Medyo technical lang siya, no? Pero at least you have now the awareness of what a supervised machine learning is. Now, unsupervised learning, ito naman yung kabaliktaran. It is also known as unsupervised machine learning, where it uses machine learning algorithms to analyze and cluster unlabeled data sets. Okay, unlabeled data sets. So these algorithms discover the hidden patterns or data groupings without the need for human intervention. Think of those data, no? Diba? We have ano na, we have a lot of data. So meron tayong term na big data, 'di ba? Now, how do we analyze this data, especially for those data na unlabeled? So maybe no, unsupervised learning could be an approach no to look for the hidden patterns or data groupings, and we can actually come up with insights no kung anong meron sa mga data na unlabeled. Another strategy or another method is called semi-supervised learning. Okay, so ano ito siya? The semi-supervised learning offers a happy medium between the supervised and the unsupervised learning. During training, it uses a smaller label data set to guide classification and feature extraction from a larger unlabeled data set. So pinagsama yung dalawa. Okay? So these are the three popular machine learning methods natin. Okay, so these are just some of the machine learning algorithms just to be just for ano lang, just for your information. So we have the neural networks, we have the linear regression, we have the logistic regression. So in reality, no, i-apply naman lang natin ito sila. No, we don't need to study this no individually because this is the field of computer science. No? So we have clustering. Importante lang naman dito is malaman natin kung ano yung ano nila, ano yung kanilang nature and then yung kanilang function. Okay? So we have clustering, we have the decision trees, we have the random forests. Ayan. And there are a lot of resources no for this no if you want to learn more about machine learning because this will also entail programming. Okay? And language such as Python can be your tool or your language no, for this. Next, okay, how about applying machine learning in education? Okay, na-mention ni Sir John kanina yung adaptive learning. Yes, machine learning is actually the engine no, dito sa adaptive learning. It analyzes a student's performance in real time and modifies teaching methods and the curriculum based on that data. According here, it
also helps to have a personalized engagement and tries to adapt to the individual for a better education. Okay, nag-adapt siya. So this is a promising no na technology na later on no if we can develop no a platform to cater those students with special needs no gamit na gamit talaga ito sila. Okay? Ayan. Next one is learning analytics. Ito, yan, magkaano lang yan sila, magpinsan lang ito sila. Okay, with learning analytics, the teacher can gain insight into data and can perform deep dives into the data. He or she can shift through millions of pieces of content, interpret it, and then can make connections and conclusions. Again, with the use of statistics din ito. Ayan. And the result will be, ayan, a positive impact no to the teaching and the learning process because you will based from the analysis no you will know kung ano ba yung problema and what are those things that you could actually improve pa to your teaching. Next one is predictive analytics. This is another variant, okay? So predictive analytics in education is all about knowing the mindset and the needs of the students from the term predict. No? Ayan. So it helps to make conclusions about the things that might happen in the future. For example, meron ka ng data, okay? So with the class test and half yearly results, it could be understood which students are going to perform well in the exam and which students will have a tough time. So with importante lang naman meron kayong data no para ma-predict mo kung who will be those na perform well and who will be those students who will be needing assistance. Okay? So predictive analytics can help us no in identifying those cases. No? At least malaman natin no mas madali nating malaman kung sino talaga yung may kailangan ng ating assistance. Ayan. Next, machine learning could be used in evaluating assessments. So Sir John Bacchus mentioned about the automatic essay grading. Yes, now this is still part, no? Kasi the engine that runs is the machine learning. Okay, machine learning in the form of artificial intelligence is used to grade student assignments and exams more accurately than a human can. Though some input from humans is required, but the best results will have higher validity and reliability when a machine does the work as there are higher reliability and low chances of error. This is also good for large classes. No? Imagine, no, magpa-essay ka, no? Ilang estudyante meron ka. No? This will actually serve no, as your tool, no? Aside from your manual evaluation or manual checking. No? So these are the things no, that we should embrace. No? Especially yung dumating yung chat GPT, no? So, wala na tayong magawa, no, with this kasi yung AI nandyan na, all we have to do lang naman is to leverage lang. Okay? So, at least, para lang good para lang maggamit in a right way, no? Somehow, and in ethical way. Ayan. Next is, ito, example application is the speech recognition. So, like for example, hey Siri, ayan, si Siri natin sa mga ayan, sa mga Apple devices natin. So the automatic speech recognition or computer speech recognition or even called speech to text, no? Ito yung um, popular no for the devices which actually uses the NLP or the natural language processing no, to translate human speech into a written format. So, I do not know lang sa Android kung ano bang tawag for that particular application, but there is an equivalent app no, for that. Um, Next is customer service. I know you're familiar with chatbots. So this is actually an example ng application ng machine learning natin. No? So there are a lot of chatbot applications, not only for Facebook, but for different websites, ng mga business websites, di ba? Yung tipong maraming nag-inquire, no, how much is this, blah, blah, blah. So there is this virtual assistant no, who will help you, who will guide you no, with that. So again, that's powered by machine learning. Next is computer vision. This is another promising na technology. No? And this is, yeah, kay emerging man siya, no? This is still a work in progress. So, This is powered by convolutional neural networks, and computer vision has applications in photo tagging on social media. Ayan. Siya kayo, bakit nag-auto tag ito siya? Bakit nare-recognize no ng system yung images? Okay? Because of this no application ng computer vision natin no, with the help of the machine learning. So radiology imaging in healthcare and self-driving cars in the automotive industry, even in our smartphones, di ba? Recently, Apple has um, updated its OS, no? When you try to search for images, kasi ito yung problem before, if you have thousands of images, no, pictures good sa sa smartphone, ang hirap ang hirap mag-sort out, ang hirap mag-search, no. For example, you're looking for a particular image na nandoon ka sa sa park, okay? So, nakalimutan naman kung kailan yun siya nangyari. So, all you need to do is to just search na lang, and then automatically, no, the system can generate or can give you by searching for that particular term, no, the system will provide you images, no, na nandoon yung nandoon sa criteria mo. For example, park. So it actually uses computer vision to check, no, kung meron bang park or element of park doon sa image. So that's how computer vision works, no, in a smartphone. Ayan. Next, ito, immersive learning. Okay? Although this was mentioned by Sir John kanina, no? So this is actually an addition, okay? So immersive learning is just the use lang naman ito ng mga devices, no, which can actually immerse ourselves, no, in interactive digital environments. Kung wala itong mga devices na to, we cannot have this, of course, immersive na environment. So the programs use a variety of multimedia elements such as the sounds, no, images, and other sensations to give students a full sensory experience, causing them to get an actual feel for the environment. Although it's virtual, no, it's an artificial world, artificial environment, but no, uh, makikita mo 360 degrees. Imagine na, oh, it's like it's it's like a real no na experience, parang na 3D ka. Ayan. Yung iba, they coin this one as immersive 3D experience. No? So immersive learning techniques help students to experience, explore, and navigate the real-world subjects and destinations within the comfort of their classrooms. Or if not classrooms, within the comfort of our home. Ayan. So immersive learning is commonly implemented in classrooms using methods such as VR. This has been mentioned by Sir Jan kanina. So ayan, virtual reality. Uh, we have here the Google Cardboard. I have tried using this one, no, yung Google Cardboard. Binigyan kami ng ng Google Cardboard ng isang estudyante namin before, and then we have we tried to to experiment and to use applications na from Google. No, it's actually satisfying, no. Medyo medyo mag-adjust ka, especially if you have problems with your vision. Yun kasi i-insert mo kasi yung cardboard siya, as in lang talaga, yung anong tawag nito, parang chipboard lang siya, parang ganun lang siya, no? Ganyan sa image, no, the VR box, and then you insert your smartphone, no, i-insert mo lang siya. The problem with the Google Cardboard is that after a few minutes, no, mag heat up, no, magsakit ang mata mo because of the heat, no, coming from the screen. So that's the problem, no? And I believe they have updated the prototype, no? Kasi we have tried this one way back in the year 2016. Okay? So there are a lot of VR boxes or VR headsets, no, na mabibili. Just look for just look for a VR headset na very comfortable lang sa inyo. Okay, and then we also have AR or augmented reality. Ayan, so augmented reality programs place virtual objects in real environments. For example, ayan, halos lahat naman siguro nakagamit ng application, yung Pokemon, no? Ayan, so maraming na-hook before no sa Pokemon. So Pokemon is an example of Pokemon Go actually is an example of an application which uses this so-called AR. And a lot of applications, even in Android and Apple, no, na gumagamit ng AR. And this is can actually upgrade our learning experience, no. So ipo-point out mo lang to a certain object, no, and then the 3D model of that object pops up no doon sa screen niyo. So this is another no na innovation in the field of um, what they call this one HCI or human computer interaction and sa um, 3D modeling. Ayan. Next one is the mixed reality. Okay, so we have AR, we have VR, and then we also have MR. So this is a combination of both the virtual and augmented reality, placing virtual objects in a real world background, making virtual interactions appear as real. Okay, so mixed reality enables users to navigate through the real and virtual environments simultaneously. I have recalled the introduction video kanina, no? So, yan, meron ding ano doon, no? Meron ding element ng mixed reality doon. So, although mixed reality is still at its infancy, no, but this is promising, no, na technology that we can actually adopt in our classroom. However, this is costly, no? So, yun lang, pagplanuhan lang, and then kasi this will ano yan, this will entail ano talaga a very expensive na ano na amount. Okay? Especially on the application. But the designers and the software engineers are working into that. And yan, mga um, tawag nito, different companies are into the development din no, for the specific fields nila. Pwede kasi itong magamit, for example, ito sa chemistry, no, sa medical field, no, and, or any field, just to enhance our learning. Next one is the 5G and extended connectivity. Okay, unfortunately, dito sa amin sa Coronadal City, hindi pa kami nakapag 5G. Although some places meron na, General Santos City may 5G na, Davao meron na, Iloilo and Manila meron na. So, yun lang kasi we are relying on our telecommunications network, no? So, 5G is the fifth generation of the cellular technology. It is designed to increase the speed, reduce the latency or the delays, and improve flexibility of wireless services. Now, ano naman ang kinalaman nito sa education? Most of our technologies nowadays rely on this connectivity. So imagine if we are going to implement this in our classroom with a lot of devices, we also have to cater the connection na paspas din. That is why 5G comes into play. Okay? Ayan. So 5G promises the lower latency or the lower delays, which can improve the performance of the business applications as well as the other digital experiences such as the online gaming, video conferencing, and self-driving cars. Ayan. So just to inform you, no one company or person owns the 5G. This is a collaborative effort, okay? But there are several companies within the mobile ecosystem that are really contributing to bringing 5G to life. And one of those companies is Qualcomm, okay? So Qualcomm has played a major role in inventing the many foundational technologies that drive the industry forward and make up the 5G the next wireless standard. We started with 1G, with 2G, 3G, 4G LTE, and now here comes the 5G. So, this is the promise of 5G. You can download a full 8K movie 500% faster than the 4G LTE. Ayan, and it can actually cater the various services and devices such as the drones, ayan, sa cars, head-mounted displays, mga VRs natin, Wi-Fi, okay, lahat. Ayan. And then this can actually be applied to ayan, to our broadband services. So this can enhance our mobile broadband. And this is also applied to the mission critical services, okay, such as the medical field and sa researches natin, especially sa ano din, education and agriculture, halos lahat ng aspects, okay? And then we also have this massive Internet of Things. Kailangan ng malakas na connectivity for the Internet of Things. That's why if we are moving forward with this hardware natin, kailangan din yung ating or hardware aspect, kailangan din na ang connectivity or internet connectivity na mag-upgrade din. Okay? Ayan. So, just an example of the application of 5G in the context of education. So, there is a study which is entitled 5G Enabled Technologies for Smart Education by Dake and Ajay in 2019. So, ito yung setup nila. Okay? So, imagine if you are a faculty, no, or a presenter, dami kang estudyante, okay? And you are currently, for example, currently teaching, no, here in the Philippines, and then other students are overseas, no? So live yung klase nimo, hybrid siya, no? So ayan, really have to you really have to cater the various na needs din ng mga estudyante nimo, no, with this type ng model natin. Okay? So sa kanilang study, they have implemented the physical classroom using HMD or head-mounted display. Ayan. So gumamit sila ng other emerging technologies, no, just to supplement the learning. Ayan. So there's the desired location and we have the desired physical classroom. So that's the setup. So imagine in the future, no, ito din yung direction natin, no. That's why we have this 5G, no, in maka-help sa atin na din may improve din yung ating services. Okay. Ayan, this is another application, no? Kailangan ng 5G connectivity para sa ating VR, AR enhanced education. Bakit hindi pa naging popular yung VR, AR aside sa aside sa walang budget pa or low pa ang budget? Because of the connectivity din. Kailangan din. Kasi if you're going to mass implement this, you have to consider your connectivity. Ayan. Next, the Internet of Things. Ayan, kailangan din yan kasi Internet of Things is actually a network of these devices, no, which actually connect together. So, kailangan niya ng connectivity. So, imagine if you have a lot of things to consider na naging part din ng connectivity niya, you really have to consider your speed. Ayan. So, 5G can actually help. Ayan. Teachers could automate some menial chores like collecting assignments or organizing papers. Stations can be set up throughout the room for more interactive and hands-on learning. Classrooms can also be equipped with monitoring systems that offer high-level security. Ganon. Okay, next one is robotics. I know you're familiar with this, okay? So, ayan. So, robotics is a branch of engineering that involves the conception, design, the manufacture, and operation of our robots. So, the objective of the robotics field is to create intelligent machines that can assist humans in a variety of ways that can only assist but not replace. Take note of that. Ayan. So, robotics can take a number of forms. So, a robot may resemble a human, or it may be in the form of a robotic application such as the RPA or the robotic process automation, which simulates how humans engage with software to perform the repetitive rules-based tasks. Okay? Nagiging assistant. Next one. Next one. Okay, this has been applied, no, in the context of education, medical and special education. So sa medical field, ayan, when learning to perform complicated medical procedures, a human subject isn't feasible. So educators are employing the use of robots as stand-ins. Okay? So ito yung nagiging use niya, no, sa education and sa medical education. Even sa industry, no, ginagamit din ito in producing, no, the medical equipment. So, special education students with special requirements are reaching new levels of learning through the use of robotics in the classroom. So, with these technologies, children with autism are learning communication and social skills, and students with the developmental issues and attention disorders are learning commerce. So, this is also an application, no, ng robotics sa special education. Okay? And then we also have the examples or the types of robots. Pwede siyang maging Android, pwede siyang maging telechair, telepresence, industrial, swarm, or smart. Okay, depending on the usage. Next one is drones. Ayan. I know you are familiar with this, no? Paano napunta yung drones no, sa education? Kasi ginagamit ito mostly no, ayan, sa mga film. If not sa film, sa mga SDE o mga same-day edit videos natin. Okay? So drone is just a broad term that can refer to any unmanned aircraft. Unmanned na merong camera. Okay? It has a multi-rotor. Okay? It has propellers. So sometimes this is called UAV or yung unmanned aerial vehicle. Ayan. Basta may UAV na yan. Okay, it has cameras, it has a built-in flight controller. Okay, and some drones have these additional smart features that let them do the cool things like fly autonomously, more than that. Okay, so where can we apply this? No, in education. So napakarami in the field of geography. Ayan, in the field of geology, agricultural studies, surveying or mapping, environmental research, wildlife research, oceanography. Ayan, hydrography, engineering, and the most popular sa media. Okay? Kasi yun yung sa film. Pero marami pala siyang gamit, no? That is why ikaw magtaka na, for example, sa agriculture na sector, nag-request sila ng drone. Kasi magamit nila yan for the surveying. Din. Ayan. So, daming gamit. So, these are just examples of drones natin. Mga different forms ng drones. Okay? Now, let's proceed to the emerging practices. Ayan. So, we're done with the emerging technologies. Now, proceed na tayo sa emerging practices. I have only 5 here. So, we have the hybrid learning. We have the asynchronous learning and teaching. We have the game-based learning. We have the mobile learning. And we have the open education resources or the OER. Okay. Let's proceed with hybrid learning. Okay. So gamit na gamit ngayon, especially na nagkaroon tayo ng pandemic no, in the year 2020. Until now, we are still offering this type of learning. Now, in some references, especially in this slide, no, I sourced this from the NIU, okay, Northern Illinois University. So this is also referred to as the blended learning. Okay, sabi dito, it represents a combination of F2F or the face-to-face classes and online learning activities where computer-mediated activities replace this seat time in the classroom. So ito siya, combination, face-to-face and online learning activities. However, there are references no that would disagree on this one or that would actually have their own definition. Yung hybrid learning kasi ngayon, wala pa siyang, kumbaga, this is still debatable, no? Debatable in the sense that no one claims, everyone claims na ganito yung hybrid learning. Yung ganitong school naman, ganito yung definition nila. But definitely, it's just online learning plus classroom learning, di ba? Pero let's take a look at this, no? This was sourced from Kotobi. Okay, blended learning refers to the incorporation of digital learning as well as the face-to-face learning. Ito yung definition ng blended learning. Now, here comes the definition of hybrid learning. Hybrid learning focuses on teaching both the remote and in-class learners at the same time. There is a school in Davao. I didn't understand that. I'm sorry for that. There is a school in Davao na gumamit ng term na high flex. Okay? High flex stands for hybrid flexible. So another term naman yun siya. So high flex, which is actually on the hybrid part kasi the teacher is nasa classroom teaching with some students and the rest of the students, okay, for example, 50% of the students are present, the rest of the students are having their classes online, live. Ganon siya. So that's the definition of hybrid. Ngayon sa blended, pag sinabing blended, okay, basta may face-to-face, baka, and then may online, ganon siya. Mag-schedule tayo ng face-to-face, kung walang face-to-face, edi online, ganon siya. So, ito yung mga terms na medyo vague pa ngayon, no? Pero kasi a lot of researchers then and educators no have this then different interpretations then ng kanilang itong mga terms natin na to. Okay. So how to deliver an effective hybrid class? Ayan. So from the Kotobi pa rin, so these are the 10 tips for improving hybrid learning classes. First one, you focus on both the in-class and remote learners. Medyo mabigat lang yung role natin dito because we have to consider the learners na nasa remote and nasa klase. Next one, to plan with the remote learners in mind. Nandoon sila sa labas in case of emergency, for example, in case na magka-brown out, no, whatever, ano, nang mangyari dyan. So, maputol yung communication na rin sa kanila. So, you have to plan out with, uh, or you have to plan out with the strategies for those learners who are doing the class remotely. Next, make your voice engaging. Ito another strategy kasi iba yung voice natin pag nandun tayo sa physical class. Pag nasa online tayo, ayan, we really have to and we really have to ano din to shift din no na kailangan din nating bigyan ng kulay yung ating boses no while we're
Sir Neil, nakamute. Nakamute.
having hello bakit na mute
Okay na, sir.
okay na okay thank you for that sir nag-automatic mute siya. I do not know lang. So, I do not know with this laptop. Ayan. So, next one is to invest in edtech or invest in educational technology. This is the case no ng mga schools ngayon kasi this has something to do with no money no with amount talaga. So edtech such as learning management system. No? So I believe no majority of the schools are have invested rather no in LMS no to support the learning natin. Okay, yan. And then we may use interactive activities. We have a lot of applications now. We have a lot of interactive activities which can actually supplement ano yan, um, our classes. And then next we have to another tip is to create an online community. This could be in the form of yung mga discussion boards natin within our learning management system. And then another tip is to pair in class and remote learners. Okay, kasi nga yan, hindi sila parati nakikita another strategy to have your class na maging engaging no kasi you using the hybrid approach no is to pair them ayan so make sure na meron kayong ano activities that will have collaboration no with those ano with those remote learners. Next is to appoint a session producer. What it means is that in having this hybrid class, si teacher may hihirapan kasi siya na lahat director, siya pa yung nagturo, siya pa yung ano magte-technical. It's good to have this co-host, no? Yan. Just like what we're doing right now, meron tayong co-host, no? At least tayo yun ang atong ano, ang atong session. Ayan siya. So, this is a strategy that will actually improve our ayan, hybrid learning. Next, to make the learning resources available online. Ayan, so make sure that your resources are available to our students. May it be, may it be with the ano yan, the use of your personal websites or with the use of the learning management systems. Next one is to carry out, the last one is to carry out learning surveys. Learning surveys will actually help us no determine kung ano yung weaknesses natin or strengths natin that will actually be of good use no to better improve our services. So these are just some of the tips no for improving our hybrid learning classes. Okay? Ayan, this is um, courtesy of Kutubi. Ayan. This slide naman pertains to the differences no between the traditional and then the hybrid or blended. So for example, no, just to compare no the approaches no. The instructor role no for the traditional very authoritative tayo, sa hybrid naman nagiging facilitator tayo dito. Okay? Sa student role naman, okay, sa traditional, the student attends classes and then sa hybrid or blended naman, the individual or there is an individual or collaborative work. Okay, ayan. So, sa learning environment, Ayan. For the traditional, we have class lectures, some hybrid or blended. The class time is shortened and or used more for the interactive learning activities. Ayan. For the approach, for the traditional, that's teacher-centered. And then for the hybrid or blended, that's learner-centered. Ayan. For the in class time primarily used for lecturing. And then for the hybrid or blended, there is less time for the lecturing. And there is more time no, in engaging for different no, interactive activities. And then for the out of class time, sa traditional, we have to set assignments, quizzes, ganon. And then for the hybrid or the blended, we have to incorporate the online learning activities, online discussions, watching videos, etc. Okay. Next one is next emerging practice is the asynchronous learning and teaching. Ito na yung ginamit natin kasi we experienced that students were having this Zoom fatigue. No? May inakoin tayong term na Zoom fatigue. Ayan, na all day magkaklase using the synchronous no? Or any na video conferencing na tool. No? So, medyo ano yun siya, medyo madugo. No? That is why we have also to incorporate asynchronous learning and teaching. So, ayan. Ito yung case, no, sa US, no, the outlook as of end of March 2020. No? So sa phase 1 nila, the North America and many other regions transition to fully remote teaching and learning in just 3 to 4 weeks with a huge reliance on synchronous video and Zoom, etc. So, ayun, kailangan lang na ano, na ma-introduce yung asynchronous kasi mabombard tayo with ano no, with um with the fatigue no, na ma-experience na not only for the students but also for the teachers. Okay, asynchronous learning describes educational activities, discussions, and assignments that engage students in learning at their own pace at their own time. So yung best benefit actually ng asynchronous learning is flexibility. Okay, ayan. So examples of asynchronous learning, we have, again, watching pre-recorded lecture videos or lessons, viewing video demonstrations, reading and writing assignments, research projects, student presentations, even online discussions no, via course discussion boards. Online siya, pero yun lang kasi ang course discussion board nasa sarili na real-time. No? Ayan. So individual or group projects, learning activities such as quizzes, problem solving, and games. Yan. Yan. I mentioned Zoom fatigue earlier. Okay. Next emerging practice is mobile learning. This was mentioned by Sir John kanina no, sa emerging technology. Pero dito as a practice. M-learning or mobile learning is any learning activity that utilizes a mobile device, usually a smartphone. Okay? Mm. So, yan. So mobile learning seeks to utilize the ubiquity and unique capabilities of mobile devices to make course materials available to our students wherever they are and to create new kinds of learning experiences that help students engage with course content and the world. I would like to emphasize no, the term ubiquitous. No? Pag sinabing ubiquitous, this is anytime. No? So this is actually very promising na ano yan na concept no sa software engineering. We have this ubiquitous computing. No, it's an anywhere computing, and this is actually applied now dito sa mobile learning. Okay, kasi with your mobile device, okay, makaka-learn ka daw no kahit saan ka man sa mundo, for as long as you have your device and you have the connectivity. Okay? So these are the popular devices that can be used for M-learning. Pasensya na putol. So we have the laptop, tablet computer, smartphone, and game console. Ayan. So these are the mobile learning applications that can be used. I'm sure you are familiar with Kahoot. Okay? This is an effective na tool or application that we can use. No? Quizlet no, is part of it. Okay? Kasi with your mobile device, maganda na um, gamitin siya. No? Kasi with small screens lang siya, napaka-effective siyang gamitin. Okay, so mobile learning is not just online learning on a smaller screen. No? Yung reason bakit ginamit no, yung mobile for this because of the following 5 C's. Because of content, because of capture, because of communicate, because of compute, because of combine. These are the five C's. Okay. First, on the content, providing instructional materials that students can access anywhere or specific content like instructor commentary for a museum trip. Okay. It can be used to capture because your device is capable of capturing these photos or images, video, sounds, GPS coordinates, and even ideas. It's used to communicate. Yes, basically that's the function of our mobile devices to communicate. Okay, to use to text or use to call, and then use to compute. Yes, there are applications that will assist you in calculate in the calculation. Okay, in language translation, etc. And this is also used to combine other um, C's dito. Okay, just to have this to complement no, the learning experience. So this is on the mobile learning pedagogy. Next is the game-based learning. Okay, so game-based learning is um, learning by playing games which are developed to reach the predefined learning outcomes. Okay, so this has been mentioned earlier. So this is a teaching learning model that makes it possible to incorporate play as a tool for the learning. It favors our students, or it favors the motivations of our students, no? Interactive problem solving with constant feedback, the assumption of rules and adaptation to different student learning paces natin. Ayan. So popular platforms are ito, EdApp, okay? It highlights the micro-learning strategy, gamification and leaderboards, built-in authoring tool, custom achievements, rapid refresh quizzes, mobile-first approach. Ayan. Ayan, si Kahoot din, no? So it highlights gamified quizzes, live Kahoots, asynchronous Kahoots, multiple game templates, etc. We also have GameKit, okay? So it highlights in-game currencies, upgrades and power-ups, 10 unique game modes, etc. And the last one is what we call OER, or the Open Education Resources. Ito, gamit na gamit talaga ito. Okay? So OER, or Open Educational Resources, are learning, teaching, and research materials in any format and medium that reside in the public domain or under copyright, that have been released under an open license that permit no cost access. In short, free ito siya. We can reuse, repurpose, we can adapt, and redistribute by to others. Okay, so, open license naman refers to a license that respects the intellectual property rights of the copyright owner and provides permissions, no, which grants the public the rights to access, reuse, repurpose, adapt, and redistribute educational materials. So, this has been recommended by the UNESCO in the year 2019. Ayan. Now, one such popular application or platform rather is the OCW, or Open Courseware. You may try to search for this, or to open this website, Open Courseware. It's a free and open digital publication of high quality college and university level educational materials. So OCV is free, as mentioned, kasi this is part of the OER, and this is supported by MIT, or the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Okay? Marami pong materials doon na pwede niyong magamit, no, for your classes, no. So all you need to do is just visit the site. Just type lang, no, sa Google, no, Open Courseware, and doon lang yon. And then just try to browse through the different na publications, no, digital publications nila. Napakaganda. Ayan. So we could have ito, sample ng mga OERs natin. Pasok dyan yung learning module. Ayan. And then we have the open textbooks. We have the streaming videos, open access journals, and we have this online tutorials. Okay, so that's it. So we have discussed, or we have shared so far, no, insights on these emerging technologies, from the learning games and simulations down to drones, and then to the emerging practices, no, from hybrid learning down to the open education resources. Now, just take note that emerging technologies, no, are still a work in progress. Okay, as a work in progress because they are still developing. It's not yet on its maturity stage, but we are the developers, the researchers are still trying to figure out what are the capabilities of these technologies to supplement no the education sector. Ayan. So we also have to embrace no the pedagogical shift no from the teacher centered or the lecture centered to the student centered environments. With these emerging technologies, these are just tools that we can use no to further our understanding of learning and to improve our services for teaching. Okay, and then um, these emerging technologies, when effectively used, no, actually plays a significant role in our quest for transformative education. This has been enshrined, no, in the SDGs, okay, ng United Nations, SDG number 4 for quality education. Okay, ayan. So, this is my advice. Okay, let us explore the emerging technologies pa, explore the different applications, explore the different na perspectives of these practices and technologies, and invest in the new knowledge and invest on these um, technologies. Okay, so I hope you have learned something for this session, and I would like to thank everyone for listening to the this webinar. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Sir John, for your insightful presentation on emerging technologies and practices in education. Your expertise and perspective truly enrich our understanding of the topic. We are grateful for the knowledge you have shared with us today. Now we have time for a question and answer session. This time I call Sir Archie Gonzaga to facilitate the Q&A session. Sir Archie?
Thank you very much, Sir James. So, to our esteemed speakers, thank you for sharing your insights to us on emerging technologies and practices in educations. So, we would like to encourage each and every one of you to seize the comments or to seize this moment to ask questions, share your thoughts, and dive deeper into an exciting world of emerging technologies and education. This is your chance to gain insights from our two STEAM experts who have dedicated their career for transforming education through innovations. So you can use the chat box to write your questions or unmute your microphone and switch on your camera to be recognized. If you have some questions, you may use the chat box. Yan. Yes, ma'am. You are from Algueno Checa from Cavite. Do you have question? Do you have a question po?
We have Professor Mark here, Sir Archie. Robots will
There's a question
replace.
of Sir Mark. Robots will replace human teachers by 2027. That's the bold claim that Anthony Seldon, a British education expert, made a British Science Festival in September 2017. What is your stand on this? Will this really happen? I guess to the both of the speakers to share your insights about these questions.
Okay,
Like,
thank you for that, no, Sir Mark, for the question. That's um, the the thing is that robots will actually not replace humans. Okay, there is this so-called policy or ethical actions no that the researchers and the um, developers are actually adopting no so we cannot just simply work with a robot or develop a robot which can actually replace human teachers no so these are just tools no for us. Okay, somehow they are embedded with artificial intelligence that make them smart or intelligent, but totally it cannot replace. Remember, the psychological and the physiological aspect as well, no, consider natin yan, but definitely it's not, no. So that's just what they call it, what they call this one, an opinion, but um for me that will not happen.
Thank you very much, Sir Neil John. Is there any other questions from our participants? You are recognized, Sir Edmond.
Yes, Doc. Good afternoon po. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me, Sir Archie?
Yes, Doc.
Okay po. Ah, to Doc Neil John, thank you very much for the talk. I was very overwhelmed with your presentations po, no? And thank you because I learned a lot of new technologies na hindi ko pa nalaman, and I learned it now. I have this question. What do you think is the future of education po? Are we going to expect another breakthrough technologies?
Okay, thank you for that, sir. Regarding with that, now, as we are into the emerging technologies now, that this will actually continue, and the future of education is more of the ubiquitous education. Okay, ubiquitous education or ubiquitous computing combined. Okay, so that's anywhere learning. So imagine our learners, no, kahit saan sila sa mundo, with the use of these devices, yun na yung future natin. And the teachers can have the flexibility of the strategies and the approaches for the pedagogical approaches na ma-implement natin. So yun yung magiging kumbaga forecast or prediction for our future ng education. That's ubiquitous education.
Thank you po, Doc.
Some more from our participants. Is there anyone would like to ask clarifications or share your insights or questions to our esteemed speakers? Again, you may use the chat box or either you just click the raise hand button. There is Ma'am Edeline. Ma'am Edeline, you are recognized now.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the input from the speakers. Very timely, actually. And anybody actually can respond to this. But, sir, can I ask, considering the technologies nowadays are becoming successful in terms of its application in the educational landscape, what advice can you give to the educators like us who would want to adopt these emerging technologies for instructional support?
Okay, thank you
Maybe
for
some personal advice.
Kayla. And actually, I have an advice na no, which I mentioned kanina to explore and to invest on these technologies. Another thing is that you may want to benchmark. This is one of the effective ways no, on how are we going to adopt these technologies effectively, no, by benchmarking to other institutions or to companies no, which actually implement or adopt these things, no, kasi that's the only way that we can actually encourage our administrators to pursue the investment for our institution.
Thank you so much, sir. True, true. Agree, agree.
There's another participants who would like to ask question. Ma'am Emmy Grace, you are now recognized.
Good afternoon, Doc Neil, and thank you for sharing your knowledge about emerging technologies and practices in education. So, I remembered one of your last slides. So, you emphasized that we have to embrace the technologies in how we uh, do our jobs, especially in teaching. So, my question is, again, I would like to ask for your input. Given that the thread nowadays are going online, so we don't know what our students are doing, are they doing the task honestly, and so on. Will the technologies in the future affect our pedagogical approaches, so as teachers?
Thank you for that question. That's very hard. Yes, obviously, no. Just in the case of our pandemic, no, we actually shifted to another modality, no, online, no. Like online learning tayo, and then we have this hybrid, we have this blended, and that will actually continue in the future. Okay? So with the use of emerging technologies, we do not know on kung paano natin ito maano, paano natin ito ano yan, maitawid, but the trend is that whenever a new technology comes in, there will always be a possibility that our pedagogical approaches will also be upgraded. Okay? So as to the pedagogical approach, we do not know yet, and still researchers, or we as educators, we as educational leaders are um, uh, are also studying, no, the future of education.
Thank you, Doc Neil, for your insights and clarification. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Emmy. At this time, we are now about to entertain one last question for our speaker. Is there any questions from our participants? So I believe there are no other questions from our speakers. I would like to turn over again the virtual floor to Sir James Aldrin.
I
Sir
think
James,
Sir Archie, Geraldine is raising her hand.
sige. Ma'am Geraldine,
Hello.
you are recognized, Ma'am Geraldine. Thank you very
Hello.
much.
Hello. Good afternoon. Can I be heard? I'm sorry, I
Yes, ma'am.
cannot turn on my camera. I'd like to thank you, the speakers, for this afternoon for their input. But I have a question regarding evaluation. Sometimes when we use technology, it's actually there's a thought of a trial and error. What would be for you the best way um, to evaluate technology's use in classroom teaching, some sort of an internal evaluation. How do we, what kind of evaluation can we use? And that would more or less be made faster so as we can immediately decide not to use it and go on to the next.
Okay, thank you for that question, Ma'am Geraldine. Actually, there are certain applications, no, which are available nowadays, no, to supplement our evaluation. Unfortunately, majority of these applications are proprietary. When you say proprietary, you have to pay. Okay? So that's a breakthrough technology na hindi rin siya nagagamit, especially sa public schools and most of the universities, because nga of the cost. That's why if you really want to invest on that, then you really have to consider yan, yung infrastructure ninyo sa school and then the administration. But I believe, ma'am, there are a lot of technologies no, which can actually support, especially sa assessment, sa essay, evaluation of these things. So sa mga authentic assessment natin, yes, meron yan siya. However, hindi lang talaga siya popular because yun nga, it's proprietary and you really have to pay for the service or services. Just like yung mga plagiarism software natin, there are only few na nag-offer ng free services, but those which have those applications which have robust services, no, or functionalities, no, yun yung may mga medyo mahal, no, may for a fee talaga. So yun lang, and we are trying our best, no, as researchers then to come up with this uh, similar applications, no. I believe um, is researchers in the academia are also developing this, no. So um, for maybe for free. So that's because this is still emerging and we really have to wait na lang po. Yun. So yun na lang yung ating ano, yun na lang ating magagawa, pero we have to explore, no? It's the applications are there. All we need to do is just um, use it, try to ano yan, try to um, evaluate if this will actually be of good use sa atin or not. Yun lang.
Thank you, sir.
Yung, let, let me add also to what Sir New John has mentioned. No? So, we are also using LMS. I think that is the most lang kaya siguro natin as Filipinos to assess and evaluate like MCQs, essays. So, yun po.
Thank you po.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Turno. I believe there are no other questions from our participants. Sir James, I'm turning back to you, the virtual floor, as we're going to continue our program this afternoon.
Okay, thank you, Sir Archie. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for us to express our gratitude and appreciation to our esteemed guest speakers who have shared this expertise inside of us. We'd like to present these tokens of appreciation and certificate to commemorate their valuable contribution. May we ask also the presence of our professor, Doc Van, to awards the certificate. Doc Van. Okay, to our first speaker, Sir John Bacchus, please accept these certificates as a token of gratitude for your exceptional presentation and enlightening discussion. Allow me to read the content of the certificate. University of the Immaculate Conception Certificate of Appreciation is awarded to John A. Bacchus, MSc for sharing his time and expertise as a resource speaker during the webinar on emerging technologies and practices in education, given this 15th day of July 2023 via Google Meet conference. Signed, Mark Van M. Buladaco, DBM IS. Okay, picture po
Thank
tayo.
you.
Ayan, to Sir John, again, we extend our
Thank
deepest
you. Thank you
appreciation
po.
for your enlightening presentation on emerging technologies and practices and education. And now, for our next speaker, same certificate of appreciation is awarded to Neil John C. Raburar, MSc IT, for sharing his time and expertise as a resource speaker during the webinar on the emerging technologies and practices in education, given this 15th day of July 2023 via Google Meet conference. Signed, Mark Van M. Boladaco, DBM IS. Sir, we sincerely thank you for the captivating presentation, for the shedding light on the latest trend and advancements and educational technology. We are grateful to both of you for the commitment and excellence in education. Once again, in behalf of the University of the Immaculate Conception and all the participants, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to Sir John and Sir Neil for their exceptional presentation and valuable supports. Thank you and congratulations once again on your outstanding contribution. We would like also to present same certificate of participation to all attendees as a certificate of appreciation for your active participation and contribution to the webinar, for sharing your time and expertise as a participant during the webinar on the emerging technologies and practices in education. Given this 15th day of July 2023 via Google Meet conference, signed John A. Bacchus, Neil John Raburar, and Mark Van M. Puladaco. This certificate symbolizes our gratitude for your engagement and commitment to the advancing education through emerging technology. Once again, congratulations to all recipients. Thank you for your dedication and active involvement. Again, thank you for joining us today. This time, let's continue to explore how technology is shaping the future of learning and its potential to revolutionize the educational landscape. Without further ado, let's hear a message from our very own brilliant and very supportive professor who will share a message about the impact and significance of emerging technology in education. Please help me welcome Dr. Mark Van M. Buladaco, DBMIS. Sir?
Okay, thank you, Sir James. Medyo na-shock ako sa brilliant. I'm just a simple academician. But anyways, first of all, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to the resource speakers, Mr. John Bacchus and Mr. Neil John Reborar. Thank you, sirs, for extending your services by sharing your knowledge, insights, and experiences, and also visionary ideas with us. Secondly, I am extending my congratulations and thanks to the future doctors in PhD IT integration for organizing such significant webinar. It is my pleasure to have each of you here today as we delve into fascinating intersection of technology and education, exploring the transformative power they hold when brought together. In this rapidly advancing world, we basically find ourselves at the cusp of the fourth industrial revolution. The convergence of digital technologies, AI, automation, and the IoT has revolutionized industries across the globe and transforming the way we live, the way we work, and the way we interact with each other. It is time to harness these potentials to revolutionize how we educate and empower future generations. Let me use this chance also to express how grateful I am to these bright and creative PhD IT integration students, Sir Archie, Ma'am Edeline, Sir Edmund, Sir Edwin, Ma'am Emmy Grace, Ma'am Florlyn, Sir James, Sir Jason, Sir JP, Sir Andrew, Ma'am Odessa, and Sir Romeo. I believe that you will contribute a lot in the research and scientific community, specifically in the teaching and learning using or integrating ICT. This is also our culminating activity for the this course. And basically, it's the last major requirement. Kudos on that and congratulations in organizing this event. May research pa tayo na dapat tapusin, but I believe you are working on it. And I'm very open for any submissions and checking. To all participants, thank you for staying and participating in this webinar. I do hope that you will bring all your learnings and apply this in your future endeavors, especially in teaching and learning. All of these tools and technologies are for us to prepare a new revolution of the industry, the fifth industrial revolution, which will happen in our lifetime. We must be ready and we must be equipped to face these technological transitions. Again, daghang salamat and have a great weekend to everyone.
All right. Thank you, Doc Ban, for that insightful message on the impact of emerging technology in education. Your expertise is truly invaluable. So as we come to an end of this enlightening webinar, may I call Sir Edmond V. Inopia, MIT, to deliver the closing remarks. Please join me in welcoming Sir Edmond V. Inopia, MIT. Sir?
Yes, Doc James, thank you. So, the founder of Microsoft, Bill Gates, said, and I quote, "The advance of technology is based on making it fit in so that you don't really even notice it. So it's part of everyday life." End of quote. As we come to the end of this enlightening webinar on emerging technologies and practices in education, I would like to express my sincerest gratitude to our esteemed speakers, Mr. John Bacchus and Mr. Neil Jan Raburar, for sharing their profound insights and expertise with us today. Their thought-provoking discussions have undoubtedly enriched our understanding for the transformative potential of technology in education. Together, our speakers, they have provided us with a comprehensive overview of emerging technologies and practices that hold immense potential in the realm of education. Their knowledge and expertise and dedication to advancing education through technology have been truly inspiring. I would like to extend my gratitude, my sincerest gratitude to all the participants and attendees of this webinar. Your active engagement, thought-provoking questions, and valuable contributions have made this event a resounding success. It is through collaborative efforts and shared commitment to innovation that we can drive meaningful change in education. To my classmates, thank you for the collaboration, logistics, preparations, help, and support to make this webinar possible and a successful one. As we move forward, let us reflect on the insights shared today, embrace the opportunities and emerging technologies bring education, let us foster a culture of continuous learning where teachers and students alike are empowered to explore, experiment, and adapt to new technologies and tools. Together, let us shape a future where education is inclusive, accessible, and transformative. Once again, I would like to express my heartful appreciation to our distinguished speakers. And I would like to extend also our professor, Dr. Mark Van Vuladaco. Sorry. Thank you for giving us your support and the opportunity to initiate this kind of webinar. To all, thank you and dagang salamat. Muchísimas gracias. God bless everyone.
Yan. Thank you so much, Sir Edmond, for inspiring your closing remarks. So before we conclude, we kindly request all the participants to fill up the evaluation form to provide a valuable feedback on this webinar. To access the evaluation form, we have two convenient options for you. First, you can scan the QR code displayed on your screen using the smartphone camera or QR code scanning application. The QR code will directly lead to you the evaluation form. Alternatively, you can visit the link at provided on our chat box and find the evaluation link. Just click it and it will take you to the survey form. Yan. So finally, we extend our heartfelt thanks to all the participants who joined us today. Your interest and active engagement have made this webinar a success. We appreciate your dedication exploring emerging technologies and practices in education. Thank you once again for your participation. We hope that the knowledge gained during this webinar will empower you to embrace the potential of emerging technologies in education. Good day, everyone, and God bless us all.
Congratulations, everyone. Thank you, sir, to the resource
Thank you so
speakers.
much po.
Thank you po.
May I request all of us to switch on your camera for our picture taking? May I request all again,
Thank you so
our
much po.
participants to switch on your cameras for our picture taking. Thank you very much.